Alright, so not too long ago, I just finished watching Virgin Punk Clockwork Girl, and I got a lot to say about this. Apparently, a lot of people on Twitter have a lot to say about this as well, and let me get into it. But before I begin, let me just say, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff to my channel. I'm semi close to 1K, not really, but if we could get there before the end of the year, I would very much appreciate it. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just talk about Virgin Punk. So, to me, this movie was really advertised as one of the next big things. It was advertised to be something really amazing. Here's the thing, though. I'll let you know right off the bat, it is not an hour and a half. It is not. It is half of that. By what I mean, it's only 35 minutes. And how I know this is because when I got there, I missed like 10 or like 5 minutes of it. And not even 30 minutes later, the film ended. And I'm just like, wait, that's it? There's no way I just paid like so and so money to go watch a film that's only 35 minutes. I kind of felt robbed. Like, Look Back was even longer than this film. But aside from that complaint, like a lot of people were kind of pissed about that. My entire theater pretty much just left after it finished airing. And I mean, I don't blame them. Pretty much the rest of the film was just a bunch of behind the scenes footage of like the director talking about the anime, how it was made, yada yada. To me, I found that to be pretty fascinating, but I wish it was advertised a little bit better to say, oh yeah, it's only like an OVA essentially with the behind the scene footage. But it was never really advertised as like that. It was just advertised as, oh yeah, this is gonna be the next cool banger anime film, but it is what it is. I want to talk specifically about the story itself, then some of the behind the scene footage I actually learned. I think Virgin Punk is a pretty fascinating thing. Like, animation wise, it's beautiful. Like, seriously, animation wise, this is really, really good. I think personally, it's a lot better animated than Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer. I'll be the first to say it. Like, everything about the way that this like OVA / movie looks is phenomenal. I kid you not. It's like incredibly amazing. Everything is so well detailed, from the eyes to the water movement to the way the guns are just like. If you've ever used a weapon, if you've ever like pretty much loaded a weapon, you know how it is. It looks amazing the way that was animated, the way it was drawn, and the fact is, like, it was all hand drawn. Mixing with some 3D animation, but pretty much everything you see is hand drawn, which is pretty amazing because nowadays everything is done digitally, but the fact that everything was pretty much like hand drawn and then done digitally is amazing to me. That's why everything looks so vivid, everything looks so really cool. Yeah, there were certain parts where you could tell the 3D was there, but for the most part, no, pretty much hand drawn, which is insane because nowadays you don't even get that. And the fact that this was made by Studio Shaft, it's pretty interesting because they've done series like Madoka Magica, they've done series like Nisekoi. But for them to tackle something like this, and apparently this series took about 10 years to develop, which is pretty crazy. For 35 minutes, the way that the colors vibrate, the way how it looks, this world is really cool. I just want to talk about the animation because it's really cool. Other than that, story-wise, I think it's pretty cool. The fact that it has a cyberpunk aesthetic in a world like not too far distant from us, where pretty much the line between humanity and machine has pretty much blurred, where criminals pretty much can use like tools to modify their bodies to commit crimes, and the only way the government has to combat this is to hire bounty hunters to like defeat these criminals. And we specifically follow one bounty hunter. Her main conflict is, yeah, she's pretty good at her job, but she's a little bit too good. And then we have this one guy called Mr. Elegance. This guy, when I tell you he's creepy, this guy's kind of weird. Because not only is he weird, he's also a PDF, because that's all I'm gonna say about him, because this dude is mad weird. He essentially kills our main character. He essentially kills our main character, Ubu. He kills her, and then he transfers like her body, her mind, into a younger robotic version of herself, because he's obsessed with her for some reason. And it's really weird. Like, he takes photos and stuff of her and her 14-year-old robotic self, and it's pretty creepy. And some of the behind the scene footage, the director was talking about how, oh yeah, we originally had a backstory for Mr. Elegant, how he became so despicable, how he became so evil, but we decided not to include that. And I was just here thinking to myself, wait, what? I really would have loved to see how a character like this transforms into someone so creepy and like despicable, because that would have been really interesting to see. But he said he didn't really include it because of the runtime and because he'd rather keep the mystery element going, because maybe we'll find out later on about it, which I understand to that part. But damn, this series is brutal. Like, not only do they show body parts, they pretty much show nudity and like heavy mature topics. They even kill a kid at one point. They just blow the kids' heads off and they kill an elderly person, which is pretty cool. Essentially, we have our main character Cherry, as she goes by, as she's transported or transferred into this younger robotic self. She goes on a bounty hunting mission to capture this criminal, and I just gotta say, the animation is stunning. The fight scenes just look amazing. I'm telling you, anytime there was any battle, anything, I just felt like, wow, I really need more in this. And you know what's criminal? The fact that it's so short, the fact that it's only 35 minutes long. Also, I didn't realize this till after I finished the movie. I looked up who directed this film, and it's by Yaosumi Umetsu, the same director who directed Akira 1988, also Kite 1988, and Mezzo Forte 2000. I've never seen any of these, I'll be honest. I haven't actually seen Akira because I'm still waiting for a theatrical version to re-release. I highly doubt that's gonna happen, but that's the only reason I haven't seen Akira. But I've seen clips of Akira. I'm not too familiar with Kite or Mezzo Forte, but I know some people have been saying this online, that Virgin Punk is very similar to Mezzo Forte, and I kind of agree. After looking up some clips about it, you can see the heavy inspiration for this, which is really cool. Like, as far as the character looks, very interesting. Aside from the world building, like this whole cyberpunk aesthetic, which is something we desperately need nowadays, because I'll be honest, more and so we're getting closer to that era where cyberpunk is kind of becoming a reality with these neural implants, with Elon Musk and like governments and like corporations taking over. Yeah, things are slowly getting to the cyberpunk era. We are slowly transforming fiction into reality. So to see another series that delves into that cyberpunk aesthetic is really cool. Aside from Ghost in the Shell, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and Psychopaths, we really don't have too much like cyberpunk aesthetic or anime like that. So it was really cool to see something like fresh and something unique. I really enjoyed this film. Like, despite it being so short, I really liked it. Our main character Cherry, I just found it weird that they had to make her like a 14-year-old. Why couldn't they keep following her as a 25-year-old? The fact that they switched her essence into a younger body kind of creeped me out, made me a little bit uncomfortable, because it's like, okay, but why did they have to show her naked? It's just one of those things that you kind of have to ignore and just kind of keep watching for the plot, for the sake of the plot. But it makes sense because the main bad guy, Mr. Elegance, which ends up being her boss, is a pervert. He's very creepy. There was a backstory to it. I would love to find out more about it, but turns out Virgin Punk, this is only part one of a multi-series thing, which I really want to find out if it's going to get adapted more. Maybe it could be a cool anime, because it would really make for a sick-ass anime. Her ultimate goal is to kill Elegance and like take revenge. And I love revenge stories like this. It's really cool, really fascinating. But other than that, Virgin Punk, if you're going to go watch this, I warn you now, it's only 35 minutes long. 35. And the rest of the film is pretty much behind the scenes stuff, which is actually pretty interesting. I was kind of annoyed at first, but as I kept watching the behind the scenes stuff, I'm like, this is actually a pretty fascinating type of stuff. Anyways, if you are going to be watching this, it's probably too late to go watching the sub version, but if you are going to be watching on the dub version, it actually drops November 13th as of the moment of me posting this. It is still Tuesday, November 11th only the sub version came out, which is kind of unfortunate. It's only a 2-day release, but I highly recommend go watch it. If you do so, yes, no, I don't know if you want to pay $20 for like a 30-minute film. That might not seem worth it. Luckily, I had a discount from Cinemark, so I only paid like $4 or something like that, which isn't bad, but I still enjoy it. I had a good time. I like this film. I just wish it was longer. I did not know the director was Yaosumi Umetsu, because wow, this makes so much sense why it's so good. Anyways, yeah, that's just my thoughts on Virgin Punk. I had a lot to say about this film, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on my next video. And if you've watched this, let me know your thoughts down below. If not, I say just wait till it drops online at some point in the future. But other than that, yeah, that's my thoughts. Wow, this video is kind of long, so yeah,